This meeting is being recorded.
Hello.
Hello. How's everybody doing?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm doing okay. Just doing some setup. Give me a couple minutes.
Oh, hello.
What is up? How's everybody's, how are the documents? How's the exercise?
Yo, it was
I
good. I like it.
I just submitted it like 15 minutes ago. I hope that's not a problem.
Oh, you're good, dude. How's my sound quality, by the way? Does that sound pretty clear? Yeah?
Yeah.
It's very good.
This is coming in. Okay. Give everybody else 2 more minutes to come in before we start. Yep, here they are. What a day. I've been going for the last like 10 hours, dude. It's crazy. So good. Philip, what's up, man? Vincent, Christopher, Nicholas, Maxim, Charles, Alexandra, Solomon, who's missing? I think we got pretty much everybody. Beautiful. So guys, hope everybody's doing good. I got everybody's submissions, so good stuff. I know it's not easy going deep, put into that document. I've put hundreds of hours into like developing those. Even just in the last week, I've been making changes to it myself. So definitely good that you guys did it. The challenge when it comes to putting your vision together is that we tend to get in the way of it happening, right? Like an analogy that I like to say is like having a vision is like a seed, right? If you just follow the plan, right? Like you put the dirt, you put the water, you get the sun on it, right? It's gonna turn into the goal, right? It's gonna fucking grow. If you pluck it out of the ground, you're gonna fuck it up. All your old beliefs, all the old ways of being, all your old habits are going to fuck it up, right? So for today, we're going to talk about vices. We're going to talk about how you can actually start to remove those vices so you can just hit these goals. Like honestly, if you do what I'm telling you, like 3 to 6 months is plenty of time to make 10 grand a month. Like that might even be overshooting it a little bit. Like you get the basics down, you start marketing, you start building your brand, you start talking to people, right? Like you should get opportunities. If it's not going to bring you closer to your goals, yeah, dude, 100%. Like you need to start cutting things out. Like that's the biggest thing, right? Like a lot of the time, success isn't about adding things. It's about sculpting. I'm sure you've seen the picture of like the guy where he's like sculpting himself, right? Like there's an amount of sacrifice in that process, right? So, and it's gonna suck in the short term. Like guys, I'm literally something I do to get really locked in is I literally fast. Like the last time I ate was yesterday, right after our call. I had a pound of ground beef and some eggs. Like that's the last time I ate, right? Like it's little things that you do to be able to maximize your productivity, right? So, alrighty, I'm gonna pull up. Before we dive into vices, does anybody here want to share their takeaways from putting together their vision? Anybody?
I'm not gonna lie, when I first started, I was like, it's not gonna do anything. And then after I meditated, I shoveled, I did some stuff, and then I started writing. It just started all coming down like perfectly. And when I looked at your example, it was nice to see you also drop down and go into further detail. So now I understand when you guys are like, yeah, it took me a couple hours, so I still got some more work to do, but I got the main points there.
100%. And that's the whole idea of the exercise. Like you want to have like the main points, you want to have that basic vision because when you're looking at it, right? Like that's when you get more ideas. Like every day when I look at mine, sometimes no, but most of the time whenever I look at it, I get new ideas, right? Like it's just you want to align yourself with that so you can think like that person, right? Because then all the crazy stuff, it doesn't seem so crazy, right? Like talking to You know what I mean? Like, dude, like posting about your brand and your it doesn't seem dumb anymore. It's like, yeah, of course, dude. Fuck yeah. I want to make fucking $50,000 a month. Of course I'm gonna do that. So really good you got it together. I would literally recommend every day making those edits. Anybody else? Takeaways? How was the process of putting that together?
Yeah, I got one. While doing the process, it felt kind of fun too. Like knowing this would work, then writing down your identity. It's like, great, I'm gonna become this guy, you know. So that was my experience there.
100%. Bro, I promise you, like literally your thoughts are seeds. Like it's going to happen unless you fuck it up. Because all you're missing is a plan, and the plan is simple. Like I'll help you guys put it together. We're gonna go into that in day 3, right? But literally, whatever you're writing down, it's going to happen. So like, you need to let go of all the limitations and just let your mind play and think about the things that really fucking light you up. Because if you live, think about it. If you live life based on the things that fire you up, you're gonna show up very differently than the guy that's doing a sales job that just wants to get paid but really wants to fucking fuck out and stop talking to these leads, right? It's a different energy. It's a completely different energy. And every high performer, like all the people that are living their best life, like that's where they're operating from, right? This is why entrepreneurs can work 100 hours for themselves. They won't work 40 for somebody else, right? Because they just love those 100 hours. Those 100 hours are their game, right? And the more you can remove your vices, guys, the more you're going to enjoy that game. The more vices you have, the more stimulated and fucked up you are from all this dopamine, like the harder it's going to be for you to do the simple things that you know you're supposed to do, right? So what I'm going to have you guys do, in day 2, there's a document that you can actually like copy and paste. Okay, that'll be the assignment. But literally just just create your own copy of the document. You're going to start listing out all your vices. I'll actually do a screen share here. But the whole idea is we're going to list out all the vices that could get in the way of what we're building. And we're going to start to reverse engineer our own thought process, right? So part of thinking like a business owner is you need to understand that you are a failable creature. Like pretend you're the most like undisciplined, just unreliable piece of shit on the planet. What are ways that you can actually structure a plan so you can still do the things you need to do to get the outcomes you want, right? The way we're going to do that is going to be this document. So let me find it real quick. I'll do a quick share. While I do that, if anybody else wants to go over a takeaway, if you want to go over like how the process was for you, we're all ears.
Yeah, I actually have a question. Like, how
Go for
far
it.
can you go? Because I went extremely far, like just
Dude,
like full on craziness.
dude, you can do literally like the whole idea, it can be anything. Keep in mind, right? If it's really crazy, it's probably going to take 10, 20 years, which is probably better because now you got 10, 20 years of getting closer every single day, right?
Have you read my document?
Dude, I looked at everybody's. I can look into it in a little more detail, or if you want, you can share your screen and actually show us.
Well, like that. I'm not that excited about it, you know.
Ah, dude. I mean, bro, nobody here is perfect, bro. You should do it. Come on, do it,
Okay, why not?
ah,
You're gonna think I'm
see it,
crazy though. Like actually, like
bro.
crazy.
Let's
I'm
see this
crazy,
craziness. I'm trying to
dude.
peep.
I'm trying to get people living in. I'm trying to get a bunch of digital nomads living in the middle of fucking nowhere, bro. Like, like, yeah, we're all crazy, bro. Crazy just means you're doing things your way, which is what life is supposed to be.
I regret speaking up.
The normal people work for the crazy people, bro. Who do you want to be? I'm excited.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it. There's like a weird tab over it. If you have tabs open, just close them out. They're like hovering over the screen.
What kind of tabs?
In the bottom and on the right, it's like you have one that's like, I don't know how to describe it, like portrait mode, and you have another one that's like a landscape. Kind of, it's fine. Just scroll down. We can see it.
Okay. Yeah, because I have like some stuff open for my sales position. So yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
annoying that I have to like open that stuff again.
Yeah, you're fine, dude.
So
Just scroll down. So what's the crazy part?
everything.
Hold on. Slow down. Slow down.
Okay,
So okay. So tell me what the crazy part is.
just everything. This is insane. But
Everything I want to tell my
if you
parents. Don't
think
have to worry
about
about their
it,
money.
it's possible. It's possible.
4 wives and maybe more kids. That's awesome.
Yeah.
4 wives, 20 kids. My God. Fuck yeah. So like here's the thing, right? Like here's the thing about having a crazy goal. It's not about the goal, right? It's about the impact of the goal. It's not about $100 million. It's the impact of $100 million, which is you're able to, what is it? Shower your parents with gifts, them not have to worry about money, retire them. By the way, bro, you're gonna do that with fucking 500 grand in the bank, right? Which, you know what I mean? So it's not so much the goal, it's more about the impacts of the goal, right? I like having big, hairy, audacious goals because then you just enjoy the process, right? And then it's just like this continuous thing that you're doing. But this is good. Um, this is fine. Let's look a little bit more. Let's see what else you got.
Okay, now it's where it gets crazy.
Bro, we love crazy.
Yeah, this is a crazy.
I'll go into politics, a small country. Yeah. I will own 200. Okay, companies. I thought that was 250 countries. I was like, sir, unless you want to start 60 countries, that's gonna be tough. Okay, I won't own a single car. I will rent everything, so I have absolute freedom. I will own fighter jets, APCs, tanks, artillery pieces. Interesting. So like, here's the thing, right? Whatever your goal is, bro, right?
Yeah.
It just has to be something that drives you. Yeah, dude, like I want to live life like a video game. I want to have these tanks. I want to have these things, right?
Yeah.
It's okay to have that because the point of the vision is to just what motivates you as a human being. We're going to structure plans in day 3 on how to actually start to incrementally build up to these goals, right? But this is okay. You're good. All right, you can cut your screen share now. Yeah, dude, I'm a G. I make 100 million a month. I'm a beast. I love being philanthropic. I give away for God and slave to God and runs mindset. Yeah, dude, you're fine. It's just again, this is just meant to align you with the thought process of who you're looking to become, right? Focus. So having the really big ones is huge. Focus on the impacts that those things are going to be able to have in your personal life or whatever motivates you, right? Like this, another part of this process is knowing yourself. Because when you know yourself, when you can have a discovery process with yourself, you can do that with prospects, right? That's the point, right? So here, cut your. All right. So good job, by the way. Shout out to you. I know it's not easy sharing your like intimate
Alright,
personal stuff
you'll have
and
free
what you're looking to
entry.
do.
You'll have free entry
Yeah.
in country. My man.
Yeah, I appreciate you, bro. You're a nice guy. All right, so let me pull up the triggers and rewards document. So, fuck. Let's give me a trouble. Right, you guys ready for a fun time? It is day 2. Okay. So this is what you guys are all going to be filling out, right? The whole idea is we need to figure out what all the vices are. What are all the things right now that are going to hold you back from being able to achieve that goal, right? Again, tomorrow we're going to create an actual plan. We're going to structure things. We're going to lay it all out, right? We're going to have a very clear path to get there. But right now we have to get rid of these immediate vices, right? We all have them. It's just part of being human, right? But just figure out all the things that you do that get in the way of you achieving the goal, whether it messes with your energy, it messes with your self-confidence, right? You guys need to pluck these vices out. I would say this is like personally, this is the number one thing that's like held me back, right? And it could be like scrolling on social media. It could be like just, it could be eating bad food. It could be smoking cigarettes, right? Like it could be porn. You could just be a sex addict, right? Like whatever it is, right? Like these are things that are going to hold you back. You gotta build awareness of it and you gotta start to actually create a process where they're not going to mess with you. Okay. So does that make sense? Does everybody have an idea what they're going to do? The template link does not work on school. Sebastian, which
Yeah, it takes me to the same page again. Like
interesting.
when you click.
So here, Yeah. Let me take a look.
Yeah, it's the same with me.
Same with you? Okay.
Yeah.
So here, I just posted the link in the Instagram chat. So that's the link that you guys are going to use. The assignment's a little long, but just go through it. Like going through this is going to serve you well. And then you can also start to add like the affirmations that we're putting that basically counteract advice into the morning document as well. So everybody try that link that one should work. Let me know. Just somebody speak up if it's working for you.
Yeah,
It
it
works
works.
for me.
Yeah, we're good.
Yep, all good.
Okay. Beautiful. Also, just just put the actual link in the school community so you guys can access that now. Templates. Beautiful. Oh, so you guys should be good there. All right. So I want to answer questions in regards to vices. What vices do you guys have? What questions do you have around the assignment? What do you want to like, go over? What are you curious about?
I'm not sure if that's advice, but like, just having a bunch of stuff to do and not doing it. Like, I'm not specifically doing anything else. So, you know, I have this habit of like scrolling into reels and shit. But that's outside of that. It's just like times where I just sit here. I have like an hour between meetings. It's not that I have anything to do really. I'm involved in so many things, so I technically have a bunch of things to do. But I just
Yeah.
end up like maybe I don't even know what to do there, to be honest. You know, maybe just on the front page of YouTube, then I reply to somebody, then I'm on X, but I'm not doing anything really. You know, it's not like, hey, this is like a specific vice. It's hey, you know, do you get me?
Okay, yeah, it's a behavior. Yeah, it's procrastination. So like here's the thing, right? Like this is why we create the morning document. So if you gotta be able to catch yourself when you're like distracted or doing some bullshit, right? Like when you're distracted, when you're wasting time, right? You're probably not thinking too much about your vision. You're probably not super excited about it, right?
Yeah.
So literally,
Obviously.
yeah, so literally just get up, look at your goals, look at your vision, get back into the right state, and then you look at your plan, right? So we're like day 3, we're going to go into actually structuring the plan for what you guys are going to be doing in terms of how you're going to get to the first couple steps of your vision, right? Whether it's fitness, hitting 10 grand a month working remotely, right? Look at your vision, get yourself back to state. Literally the same thing you do in the morning. Like, what are the impacts of this? Who am I going to help? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? How, right? Like something you can do as well. Like if you want to just create an extra stimuli, because I like to walk when I feel like shit. I need to get out of the immediate area. Something you can do is you can create an audio. So literally just read, right? Like read your morning formula, your morning document out loud. You record it, right? And then once you have the full recording, and make sure you have like intention to your voice, right? Like project your voice, like really speak up. Like you want to speak like you're communicating to somebody, you're injecting certainty into them, right? Make the audio, and then you go to clipchamp.com, which is a free app that edits videos. And then you just put if you have a super expensive like video editor, use that, right? But just literally get the video editor, add a soundtrack. You can find a bunch of free soundtracks online, right? Just like just something that hypes you up, like no lyrics, right? Just like an instrumental or something, right? And just
Yeah.
listen to that. And dude, I promise you, it's gonna get you, especially if you have certainty in your voice. I promise you, listening to it and just thinking about your goal and just putting yourself there while you're going for a walk, you're gonna come back into the room and you're back on point. Now you look at your plan, you just fucking do it, right?
Did you mean the with morning document? Do you mean like the vision document or something else?
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, the vision document.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Yeah, cool. That's
Yeah,
actually a really good tip. Thank you.
yeah, 100%. So again, the something about hearing it verbally, right? It just has a different effect. If you want to be lazy about it, you can go to 11labs.co or .com. It's like an AI app where you can upload a transcription and then you can choose a voice and it reads it in that voice. So that's like a lazy way to do it where it just creates the audio for you. But I mean, dude, if you have 10 minutes, just read your fucking document, like record it. I promise it's going to be so helpful. But yeah, that's a process thing, right? You catch yourself doing something dumb, you just go to the process, right? Look at your goal, get yourself on point, right? Look at your plan, start implementing the plan. Sitting there doing nothing is bullshit. Like if you're gonna have a break, like plan for the break, right? Like, and scrolling on social media is a vice, bro. Like that's a big vice. Fuck that. Like unless you're literally planning your time to scroll, which is right, like you're actively like networking and right, unless it's actually on your calendar, it doesn't need to happen. So, good job
Yes.
volunteering that and raising your hand. Anybody else? Questions about vices? Questions about implementation of the exercise that I showed you?
So can you go deeper
Yeah, what Sebastian says.
into like the implementation part? Like I read it, but can you elaborate more and go deeper into it?
Yeah, let's do that. So in terms of implementation, what you guys are going to be doing is, again, right, put yourself into a state where you can think deeply. I like having like a soundtrack, something with no lyrics, right, where you can kind of do a little meditation, just kind of clear your mind, right? But the whole idea is you want to start thinking about all the beliefs that, number one, vices, right? So what are the things in your life that like contradict your goal, right? Contradict your plan. But you want to start thinking about what are the beliefs that you have that contradict your plan, contradict your goal, right? An example of a belief that can be contradictory is somebody saying, I'm an overthinker, right? You're an overthinker. Where did you get that belief from? Did you choose that belief or did somebody else give it to you? Right? And now this is where you consciously override those beliefs. I was an overthinker. I got it from my mom or from my old environment. Now I make decisions quickly, right? Like it's a process of overriding the thoughts that you have that just don't align with your goal. And so this is something you're actually going to collect over time, right? Like name as many of them as possible in the document, like make a copy of it, create your own, right? Start listing out all the vices that you have. And you guys have vices. Like I don't know what they are. I don't know if you're staying up late. I don't know if you're binge watching shows. I don't know, like whatever they are, right? Like write them down and you're going to go through this in steps. So here, let me do a screen share so I can take you guys through like the steps for the vices in particular. So okay. So you start with the vice, right? Like what is the thing that you're doing that's bad that's holding you back, right? We need to build awareness of it. If you don't have awareness of it, it's going to screw you. If you're aware that's a vice when it happens, now we can actually replace it, right? Now we can actually create a process to get you back on point, right? Figure out what triggers it. So let's say you smoke cigarettes, right? What is it that makes you smoke a cigarette, right? Like, is it like a way for you to relieve stress? Is it when like, wife yells at you? Is it when like you just finish working, right? You want to understand what the triggers are behind the vices so you can get ahead of them. Does that make sense so far? Yeah?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Next, you want to figure out what you're getting out of it, right? Human beings, right? Maybe it's hard for you to believe this. We're not dumb. Very intelligent creatures, especially at a subconscious level. Everything you do is intentional, right? You need to understand what human beings, the way they work is you go towards reward or you go away from pain. Typically, going away from pain is a lot more motivating than going toward reward, right? But you can just treat them both as a reward. You can just treat it as like something that controls our behavior, right? So you want to figure out like what's the reward that you're getting from this action, right? A lot of the time it's avoidance. So you do it to be able to avoid stress, right? To be able to relax, get away from a situation, like feel pleasure, right? You want to understand what the reward is, and you want to find a way to get that same reward from a positive stimuli, right? Because you can't really get rid of a vice, you have to replace it, right? So something that you could do to replace cigarettes would be literally just take 60 breaths. You're in that, and then this is something I actually learned. It was actually a program years ago. It's called NeuroGym. Maybe you guys heard of it. It was like $1,000 or something. But basically, what they teach is you want to actually visualize yourself in the moment the person yelling at you, the thing stressing you out. You see the hot girl with the pants or whatever, right? You want to visualize yourself in that moment, and you want to imagine yourself just doing the new action. So instead of smoking a cigarette, just taking a deep breath. You're priming your brain to go for that, like knee-jerk reaction, go for that, as opposed to going for the cigarette. Because what happens is when you're stressed, you're not going to be able to think about all this shit, right? It's just going to happen. And then you're caught up in your little loop, right? So you want to start to prime your brain through the visualization of the replacement that you're going to be doing, right? So for all the vices, try to write a couple replacements that you could do. And then just imagine yourself going to the one, right? Like for the specific vice. This is a process, right? Like in the beginning, maybe it's not going to happen automatically, but the beauty is by doing this, you guys are starting to build that awareness of yourself, right? You ever heard that saying, know thyself? If you know yourself, you can conquer the world. If you don't know yourself, you're going to be a victim, right? To your vices, to your ways of being. And I promise you, you're not going to make 10 grand a month that way. You're not going to, right? You're not going to build a business and a life that way. So this is number one. Does this make sense? Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Beautiful. Yeah, again, guys, everything comes back to having processes. We need to have processes for all the potential things that could screw us over. Right? Okay. Other questions, other things you guys want to go over in terms of getting exercise done, implementing.
I made a whole document specifically on beliefs. And this is like, again, I don't want to feel like that guy who's know everything. Nah, this is not like, this is like bits and pieces of things I've been working on over the past 18 months, 2 years. So vices wise,
Perfect.
I really don't really have much. I have one or two, but that's like curated because those are the ones that I'm really trying to work on. So I have
Perfect.
like beliefs that went on all of that and went like deep into the beliefs. And another thing I realized is like with my positive beliefs, in the assignment you put like really hold the belief, like a bunch of questions. I went through each individual one and understood, like, answer the questions for that belief. And when I realized is like, I have positive beliefs 100%, but some of the underlying beliefs underneath that is negative. So that's a huge thing I was working on in terms of beliefs, and then I'll add vices on top of that as well.
Beautiful. Okay. And by the way, beliefs are huge. Like I'm telling you guys, like yesterday we were talking about like, dude, like 10 grand is not a lot of money, right? 20 grand is it's breaking up. Is somebody talking? Heard something in the background. Okay. Yeah, guys, like yeah, got it. Yeah, so like again, you need to start changing these beliefs. And the point of this is to introduce you guys to this practice, right? Like you're becoming an architect for your mind. Every single day, you need to start finding the beliefs that don't align with your goal. You need to start programming new beliefs that align with the goal, right? And you need to start iterating, repeating those, adding those to your morning formula, right? It's so corny, but when you do sales, right? One of the things you tell people is like, dude, like the mindset that got you where you are isn't going to get you where you want to get to, but it's true, right? And if we implement that ourselves, if we embody it, sales is going to be so easy. Like it's going to be so easy. But it's just always having like your eyes on yourself, always having awareness on yourself. And the morning is such a good time to do that. So beautiful. Yeah, and guys, like again, I know like people say like, yeah, just learn the skills, but this is how you can like take the cap off of how much you can grow, right? Like literally there's no cap to your growth if you're just an adaptation machine. If we can work through all this little stuff. Give it a couple hours. Like really think about all the beliefs that are holding you back. Like you guys can message me. Like, dude, like what about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? Like I'm happy to go back and forth. Like if you can send me a Loom video, it's even better because I can reply with a Loom video, right? But like this is deep work that you got to start and you can't stop doing because it's going to make a huge difference. Like, bro, I had so many vices before, and it's like you can't enjoy the work if you have all these vices. Like you really can't. Like it becomes a grind as opposed to a process, and if you want to get ahead, in my opinion, like you gotta put a lot of time into this. And if you're miserable, dude, like, fuck. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you're making sacrifices for the people that you love, but like, why not have it all? You know, why not love the grind? Why not get dopamine from the grind? Every morning, right? Part of my routine is by the way, if you guys like, if the vices are easy for you, you already have a lot in place, feel free to start with like day 3 where we're actually like creating your routine, right? But it's like Solomon's iPhone raised hand. Go ahead, Solomon.
I kind of resonate with Vincent's vice because before back like when I was younger, I kind of like these vices didn't really affect me, but now I have this like family and all this stuff. So sometimes like when I'm caught up in all these hands, I'm like kind of like, oh well, I did enough, or I didn't. Let's say I put 7 hours in, but I know I have like 4 things to get ahead of for tomorrow. Oh, I'm a little tired tonight. Let me go to bed. So I kind of resonate with Vincent because it's like you don't really know what you're doing, but it's kind of like it's not the formula. So when you explain to just kind of get back to the program, it's like it's a way specific answer compared to kind of like or do this or do that. No, just go back to the basics, step 1, 2, 3, and then figure it out that way. So I like how Vincent was
100%.
like, I don't know what it was, but it's just what I'm doing. The behavior. That's what you said, the behavior.
100%. It's both. It's both. Like your vices that you have, which is just subconscious patterns that are like beat into your body where you seek reward, right? But also the beliefs that you have, because that shapes your reality, right? Like it shapes the way you view the world and it shapes your unconscious beliefs, right? So that's huge. Go ahead, Vincent.
Yeah, another question. So in your document, it says what's holding you back, like the vices that are holding you back, right?
Yeah.
Earlier you mentioned stuff like going to bed late, or for me it's caffeine. So basically, currently for the last like 3 weeks, I run on 4 hours of sleep and like infinite amounts of coffee, just like because
Yeah.
I have like 3 jobs right now, doing all of these things, school.
Yeah.
The question is, I don't think that's holding me back. That's actually like the reason I can do the stuff, like caffeine, for example. Like without like
Yeah.
my 3 coffees, I can't, like, how do I function? So the question is, do I
Bro,
include those two, or are they propelling me
bro,
forward?
this is like my third cup. I'm going on 8 hours of sleep, right? But yeah, bro, it's like my third cup. Like it's at the end of the day, right? You need to figure out what's gonna get you to your goal and what's right, like what's the reality of your situation, bro. Like you're getting 4 hours of sleep, but like that's tough. Like if you can find a way to get eight
That's
hours of
okay.
sleep, dude. Yeah, I mean, dude, if you can find a way to get 8 hours, bro, that's my recommendation. Um, but no, I wouldn't consider it a vice. I would say in terms of vices, think about things like, again, like you have free time, right? Like just dumb stuff that you do, right? Like if you play video games, you scroll on your phone, or again, right? Like you watch porn or eat junk food, or like there's so many, dude, right? It's just things
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
don't need to be doing, right? Like you don't need to be doing that if you're right. You're pushing for a goal. So I would say for you, because it sounds like you don't even have time, you're just grinding all day. Like, dude, just focus on the beliefs. What are the beliefs that align with the person that I want to become, right? What are your beliefs around money, around fitness, right? Like, think about where you're at right now in life. In the meditation, sit there and think about it, right? I'm making this much money. Why am I making this much money? What are my beliefs around money, right? Like, what is the belief that's shaping my reality? Like, get real clarity on that, bro, right? And be honest. Because then, right, you can start to reprogram it. You can start to build a conscious practice, right? Literally, your affirmations can be like, this used to be my belief. Now I believe this, right? This is
Makes
my
sense. Yeah.
standard now. Beautiful. Go ahead, Solomon.
No, I didn't mean to do that, bro. I just meant like
Okay.
some of the things too that I find like when I'm thinking about it too much, just don't
hmm
overcomplicate it. Just if that thought came to your mind and you thought that was the right thing, just just kind of stick with that and just move on. And
100%. Yeah, dude, they'll come to you. Like, just let the thoughts come. Like, be okay. Like, okay, cool. This is what I thought. Now it's changing. You know. Alexandra, what's up?
So I have one that's really impacting my life, my budget, and my health, and like I'm really struggling with it right now. So it's about buying food when I'm outside. Before it used to make me like feel like I'm really poor if I don't do it or like I can't afford it. And now even though like my my fridge is full and I know I'm
Mhm.
eating healthy and I'm doing all of the stuff that I need to be doing, once I exit the
Mhm.
house, it just makes me feel like super poor if I don't go into that and buy food again. And then everything I have in the fridge goes to hell and my health runs with it. So
Okay, so just gonna do a quick summary to make sure I understand. Um,
yeah,
that when you go out, you buy food, you eat out a lot, basically.
yes. It makes it
Okay,
easier and it makes me feel like I'm spoiling myself, or like at least like I can do something for myself. And I'm
yeah,
spending a lot of money on that when it should
okay,
be,
got it.
the
Okay,
normal.
for sure. Okay, yeah, so you're eating bad food, right? So let's break that down, right? Like,
Yeah,
are you with other people when you eat bad food, or are you by yourself?
never alone. I'm
Alone?
convincing myself of that all the time. Like, it's okay, you
Okay,
deserve it. It's like a small break or something.
gotcha. Okay, so why do you, okay, so let's break that down, right? Like you feel like you deserve it. This is sounds like more of a belief issue, right? Like,
Hmm.
what does that mean? You feel like you deserve it.
Like, I had some moments, some tough moments in my life where I said, okay, it
Mhm.
doesn't matter. Like, I can live like super poorly but
Mhm.
still make it up in the business with everything I need. And I've done it.
Yeah.
And those were the times when nobody would see me and I would have my own place. And now I'm out of that comfort zone and I'm out of the house most of the times. And it just makes me feel
Mhm.
like, I deserve it. Like I'm not poor and it doesn't matter. Like I have the money for it, but I should be spending my money somewhere else. And I should be more invested into my health and I'm doing exercising, I fill up the fridge with like super good food and still I'm eating outside just so I can,
Got it.
pump myself up a little bit.
Got it. Okay. So there's a lot of angles we could go here. So you have options, right? Number one, if you want to
Yeah.
save some money, the reward that you're getting is you want like food that tastes good to reward yourself, right? Okay. Perfect, Ishmael. Yeah, make sure the assignment gets done. Check out the recording. You're good. So the reward is that it tastes good, you're rewarding yourself, right? So what are some cheaper and healthier alternatives that you can get, right, that aren't going to destroy your health? The other one is just eat at home, you know? Literally, right? The other one is just eat at home, right? And it's like, what do you do in the moment when the urge to eat unhealthy food comes up? That's where you have a process, right? And
Mhm.
it's okay. Yeah, and it's like also if you have like on cooking, like just cook simple stuff. Like I eat ground beef and eggs. It takes 5 minutes to make. You just throw it on the stove and it's done. Like just think about it, right? What are some simple things that you can cook really easily that you can make at home,
That can give me
right?
the
And
same feeling. Literally.
exactly. And so something I like to do is fast. Like literally if you fast, what you're doing is you're saying no to food over and over and over and over again, right? Like it's a little
Yeah.
extreme, but I eat one meal a day, right? But you're just training your brain to say no, like no, screw you, screw you, screw you, screw you, right? Like if you can retrain your brain in that way, I found that helped me, and because I used to eat a lot of fast food as well, right?
Mhm.
Like, but it's you just gotta say no. You know what I mean? Like you gotta say no, and you gotta know why you're saying no. You gotta think about like the woman you're becoming. Right? Why is it important to be healthy? What is being healthy going? Again, you're on a sales call, right? What are you doing? You're finding all the impacts. What are the impacts that eating this bad food is gonna have on me? Right? What example am I setting to the people that are important to me? Right? What are the consequences in a couple of years if I keep doing this? How am I going to feel? Put yourself there. Imagine your stomach hurts so much you can barely walk. Your back is bent over because you just fucking ate plastic from McDonald's. Right? Like you can put yourself there. You can, right? You can take your mind to the places you want to take your mind to. And on the other side, right? Think about how good you're gonna feel, right? Knowing you said no to the food. Do a little visualization, right? Imagine yourself going to this, seeing the whatever. What do you like to eat? What's the places you eat out at?
Well,
Yeah,
that's also the thing because I took a job as an like international driver and I just stopped to random restaurants. And when I do that, it's not the fact that I need or I want that food. It's just about not feeling poor. It's, it's like super fucked up mindset when you think about it. I don't even want that food. I can say no to it at any time. It's just about not feeling poor. That's it.
yeah.
Like I
And so
can
that's a
afford it.
right.
Yeah.
So that's a belief. That's a belief thing, right? Like who,
Yeah.
like you know what I mean? Like you don't want to drive validation from external, drive it internally, right? Like I'm not poor because I'm putting in all the work to be right. Like I'm not poor because
Yeah.
right, especially as you start getting the results, it's gonna line up more. But you got to get rid of
Mhm.
that. You got to let go of some of these old beliefs. Like you have to be a conscious architect for every single thought that you think, right? It's
You
a
know,
little
it's so weird that I actually became so aware of it suddenly, you know. I started to say no, I
yeah,
knew it's not okay. But the fact that it hit me, like, why am I doing this? And then it came up with this belief that, like, what the hell, am I poor? Because I've never been poor like that, you know? Like, where is this
yeah,
coming from? Did anyone tell me something like this? And the truth was, people saw me like this, and I created an identity behind that. I was
right,
supporting it by spending money excessively,
right. So
which,
here's what you
yeah.
got to do. Here's what you got to do. Go to your vision document, right? Like do this after, but go to your vision document and go deep on like that new identity of yours, right?
Mhm.
Like you can choose your thoughts. If a thought doesn't serve you, like just get rid of it. Like something you can do is like when the thought comes up, right? Like, oh, I feel poor if I don't eat. Make fun of it. Like literally,
Yeah.
like in the moment, oh, I feel poor if I don't eat at McDonald's. Ha ha. Shut the fuck up. That makes no sense. What's wrong with you? Say that to yourself. I promise it works.
Yeah.
I promise you, right? Like you just gotta disassociate from the thought. It doesn't make sense. What are you talking about? Look where I'm at. Look what I'm doing. Just have that dialogue. There's there's a book like what to do when you talk to yourself by Chad. It's a good book, right? Or Shem. It's just I'm telling you, just disassociate from that identity.
Hmm.
Make the
Yeah.
most
That's
obnoxious
really good.
voice. You treat it like a child. Like, what are you doing? I promise you do that for a week, it's gonna go away. And then just reinforce a new belief, right? Just reinforce a new belief. I
I start
promise you,
pinching
it'll go away.
myself every time I go next to a fast food. Like, don't do
Okay,
it.
two.
Just get out of it.
Yeah, no, visualize yourself in the moment saying no,
Yeah.
right, to that, and then literally just make fun of that belief. Because it makes no sense. What does eating out have to do with being poor,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, fuck that. Cool.
Thanks.
I got you.
100%. On my side, I would say yes, that fasting, bro, we have to get up on that fasting in. I've started like, I don't know when I started, probably 6 months, probably 12 months ago, just eating once a
Mhm.
day and just getting accustomed to that. You can still hear me, right?
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit. We can hear you.
You can still hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I bet. Yeah, just grind, just fasting every day, just doing that, and then eating once every day, every 24 hours, every 18 hours, and just keeping that consistent. You like, I don't eat, even if you don't do that, eating dinner is just for me, because it depends on how long you fast, but when you wake up with that energy, that's woo. When you wake up with that energy of like, oh yeah, well, I'm not tired. I didn't eat like McDonald's at 2 a.m. It's like that's the only way to live for me now. So fasting 100%.
100%.
And in terms of vices as well, you want to understand or at least ask your best friend or whoever you have, what is my negative beliefs? Because they know you better than you know yourself, right? People that you
Mm-hmm.
talk to, who you are connected with, okay, what do I have that is negative? right? What do I see that you think, okay, this is dumb? And then understand it, write it down, and understand it in your long-term goal.
100%. And again, just always be conscious of it because it's gonna come up, right? Like you're gonna get like it's gonna come up. Just build the habit of just observing yourself just a little bit. Like don't be super self-conscious, but just observe yourself, right? Like, I don't want to give a tip. The meal is already expensive enough. What? Right? Like, I'm telling you, these little things add up. All right. I want somebody who hasn't gone yet to go. Just questions around overcoming vices, questions around changing limiting beliefs, realigning your mind. Okay. Everybody's good? Everybody feels good about doing the assignment, getting deep on the vices?
Yes.
If you're struggling, you're going to come to me. You're going to let us know what's going on so I can help you.
Yep.
Yes.
Beautiful. All right, guys. So I think we're good here. 6 o'clock. Make sure to have it turned in, right? And then tomorrow we're going to go into actually starting to structure a routine and really building out a plan to get you guys to a place where we can start getting you some jobs, getting you making some money. Sounds good?
Awesome.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Fuck yeah. I want you guys here. I want you guys here with me, man. Top of the world. Let's take over. Awesome.
Yes, man.
All right, guys. Everybody have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow.